Steel frame prefab homes are being used as part of the solution to get homes back in an area that was devastated by wildfire. These aren't something that I have ever seen in person, and it's in a part of the United States that is more complicated than most to get a prefab home. So I'm going to check them out. This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for people to stand out and succeed online. All right, I have arrived on Maui, and the reason that I'm here is to check out NanoNest. They're the builder of these steel frame prefab homes that are part of the disaster relief effort here in Lahaina. This is my first time seeing a NanoNest, and obviously the first thing that jumps out at me is the wall of windows. But beyond that, something that I didn't know is they actually arrive in a shipping container. Just over to my right, I'm looking at one being pulled out of an 8-foot wide shipping container, and I think that's one of the reasons they work so well for disaster relief, because they can be deployed quickly, loaded onto a boat, a train, or a truck, and get to where they need to be. Today I am going to be going inside a few of the homes, but there's a lot more going on here than that. I want to find out what happened between the time they got the call that homes were needed out here on the island to the time people were actually moving in. Let's get started. So far, NanoNest has landed 110 units at this temporary housing project, and they're about to make it 111. I just watched them pull this out of the shipping container because I was kind of curious, if it's taking up the entire space, how do you actually get the home out? And what they did was they brought the back end out with a forklift, then they attached the crane, and then basically the truck just drove away. It was pretty cool to see. Now they're getting ready to lift it, or they have lifted it, and they're gonna place it onto a foundation. I don't actually know which foundation it's going on, but it's definitely heading my direction, so I'm gonna get out of the way. Turns out they're not landing it on the foundation that I was standing beside, but whenever you get some guy with a tripod on a job site, it always makes people a little nervous. So I think it's just best that I get out of the way and let them do what they're trying to do here. This recording's been going for about 3 minutes. It took them about 2 minutes to get out of the truck. All in all, it's a pretty fast turnaround to get a house out of the truck and onto the foundation in under 10 minutes, I'm gonna say, for one half, 20 for both. Pretty quick. At this point in the video, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I thought the Lahaina fire was almost 1.5 years ago. And you're absolutely right. But what I haven't shown you yet is phase 1 that actually has people living in the homes, or the first part of phase 2, just on the other side of this fence, again, that has people living in the homes as we speak. For anyone out there who isn't familiar with NanoNest, they're manufactured in China, and they recently switched factories for phase 2 and now have the capacity to build up to 500 units per month. From what I understand, from the time the homes leave the factory to the time they arrive on the island here, it's about 25 days. They make a stop in Long Beach, California, they make a stop in Honolulu, and then they make their way over to the harbor on the other side of the island before getting trucked over to Lahaina. One of the big questions I've got is how long it took from the time the first homes were ordered to the time people were moving in. So I'm going to see if I can track down Forrest. He's the founder of NanoNest because he's been involved with this from the very beginning. All right, I'm here with Forrest, the co-founder of NanoNest. We've been looking around the project here in Lahaina, and you're a fairly new company, and this is a big deal. So yeah. I'm kind of curious how you got into this.
It was a little bit of timing, and then a little bit of just trying to, fulfill a need. We had started this company about 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
Started building the prototype actually before that, but just saw a need for being able to provide fast, affordable housing. And initially our business model or plan was to have these as ADUs for people in their backyard. Maybe something like an Airbnb. It's kind of cool and modern. That was our thought process. But because of the Lahaina fires and our ability to produce units quickly, the state had reached out to us, and luckily we were able to make it work.
Okay, so the original idea wasn't necessarily to focus on disaster relief. It just kind of ended up that way.
Yeah, we kind of fell into that area, and to be honest, it's something that we didn't think about. But like now that we're diving more into it, you see with the LA fires right now, that it's such a reoccurring issue. So I think the way we're positioning this company is being as fluid as possible. So whether that be disaster relief, affordable housing for projects, homelessness is also a big problem there. Or and then the traditional go direct to consumer.
Right.
So,
Oh, so you're going to do all three.
that's
Are you going to specialize in disaster relief going forward?
Well, my goal right now is to make this project successful.
Okay.
And then from there, we're going to expand out into other areas.
Got it. Okay. So one of my big questions coming into today was from the time you got the initial order from the state, I think it was, right? How long was it until the first family moved into a home?
It was about March, what do we say, 6 months, something like that.
6 months turnaround. Okay.
6 months until I started moving in.
Okay, so last night we sat down and you had mentioned that you changed manufacturers, and with the new manufacturer, you've scaled up what you're able to provide in a month. Can you touch on that? Like how many units they'll put out a month for you guys if the need's there?
Yeah, so before we had a factory with 2 production lines, we were able to produce about 50 units a month, which to be honest, when we first started out, we thought that's plenty. We'll have plenty of roadmap for that. Once working with the state, we saw that there is a potential huge market opportunity here. The thing about disaster relief housing is that they need it fast and they need it all at one time.
Right.
And so we started looking to partner with other factories, and we selected this new factory. We have 6 production lines, and we're able to produce, for this order, we produced 140 homes, 138 units in under 30 days production.
Wow.
Okay. And then about a 30-day shipping time.
That's quick.
Yeah. So like the house we're sitting in now the state placed the order 60 days ago.
Okay, so a lot of room to ramp up from there, or?
Yes. Yeah. So that was just kind of we estimate that we can do probably about 500 units out of that.
Okay.
Obviously, that's not going to be something that we can do overnight.
Yeah.
But with the size of our factory and the amount of production lines we're able to stand up, I think we have the ability to get there.
When you started the company, I know right now they're being manufactured in China. How was it getting the product to something that meets the standards here?
That was it was a challenge.
Okay.
We had started out going down that realm when we first started producing houses over there. We knew that was going to be a challenge just from my past experiences working over there. Especially with housing products, like they don't make everything that is certified in the States. So there's some stuff we have to buy in the States and ship over to our factory. Yeah. Some stuff we have to buy, we source from all over. So there's stuff we get from Australia, Vietnam, South Korea, but we all have to bring it in. And the hardest part about making them US certified is not the production of it, it's the sourcing the material, certified material.
Okay. A project this size for a company that's a year and a half old is a pretty big undertaking, and it's an important project as well. It's providing houses for people that lost their homes. So I'm wondering if you could touch on what you've learned or what the biggest obstacle was that you had to overcome for people who may be facing a similar situation in other areas from other disasters.
Yeah, well, luckily for us, for this project, there are so many, like I said before, there's so many different companies like doing the different components of what it takes to typically stand up a property or a house. What was great about this is, and there were so many local people from Lahaina across Maui on the project, working on the project. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. So it was really easy to reach out and get help in certain areas. Okay. When you're looking at, one example is, shipping, right? There was definitely a delay in shipping timelines and acquiring containers to ship in. Perfect example is Matson stepped in and started donating containers and their shipping slots on their vessels to get product here. Wow. Yeah, so
that's cool.
Yeah, and that's just one tiny example of it, but it's just figuring out problems and having the project be as important as it is. You're providing houses for people who were going to be homeless. Yeah. Puts a little bit of pressure on you, which helps you. Yeah, helps you produce a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of my audience is going to be watching. Maybe they're looking for something for themselves, for an ADU. If that's a road you decide to go down after this is finished, what would the price of something like this be? I think you said it's 560, was it, square feet?
Yeah, this is 580 square feet.
Okay.
They're all built a little differently, and in different regions, you have to build different codes. Something about this size and about this level of, because this is built to a category 6 hurricane.
Okay.
We're doing 165 plus mile an hour glass across the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is probably somewhere around 79,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
then you would add shipping and some customs to that.
One thing I always like to ask people is, there's a lot of options in this space right now. What's something that sets Nano Nest apart from a few of the other options available?
Well, I don't know if I want to give you our secret sauce.
Okay.
No, our business model is we wanted to design something unique, right? And something that is just, we saw that there's so many houses out there that look very similar. Our goal was to design something that is just, people look at it and they're like, wow, what the heck is that thing?
Yeah.
Something they're happy to call home. In addition to that, one of the hardest parts I see from building houses is that component of shipping it to customers.
Yeah.
So our ability to decrease our shipping costs by shipping them in 40-foot containers helps us alleviate a lot of the headaches of going flat racks outside of scope.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you letting me stop by here and take a look around today.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a quick walkthrough, show people what you've got, and then I'll head out of here. So thanks for your time.
All right, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Big thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I have been using websites since the 90s, but I do not have a lot of experience building them. That's where Squarespace comes in. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform for people to stand out online. Whether you're just starting out or running a full-on business, Squarespace makes it easy to build out a website, engage with your audience, and sell anything from courses to content. I have been building using one of their templates. However, a noteworthy feature they have available is called Design Intelligence. Think of this as a combo of 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise and AI, because that's exactly what it is. I gave Design Intelligence a whirl, and it starts off by gathering info about what you want your website to look and feel like with brand personality. Seems important. Are you professional, playful, sophisticated, friendly, bold, quirky, or innovative? I am clearly sophisticated, so I selected that and moved on to the next prompt. After working through 5 steps, the website is created and you simply input your information and make changes as you see fit. Like I said, easy. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Kerry to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All right, the first space you walk into when you come inside the Nano Nest is the living room. And the number one thing that I noticed is the frosted glass going halfway up the window. Privacy is always an important thing for people, and from the outside, it looks like you're gonna be looking right in, but when you realize that there's the frosted glass halfway up and blinds from the factory that go right to the floor should alleviate some of those concerns. This couch was here when I got here, and as you saw, these homes are just being delivered now. So I have a feeling it came from the factory, and I'm guessing that it is a rollout couch as well, or a fold out, whatever you want to call it, but I'm not 100% sure on that. From the living room, we go into the kitchen, and again, this fridge was here, so I'm guessing it came from the factory. You've got the 2 doors up top. You've got the double door on the bottom. There you go. And from here, we're moving into the kitchen. Electric cooktop, you got the sink there. 2 windows above that both open. Again, blinds included. As I round the corner here, we've got 2 upper cabinets, one for storage, and the other is home to hot water on demand. So no hot water tank in this unit. Take as long of a shower as you want. Down below, we've got a cabinet on the corner, and that goes in and around, so you could tuck some things in there. Standard stuff under the sink, nice and open for your cleaning supplies. There you go. And on this side, we've got a shelf, so just a little bit of extra storage. that pretty much wraps up the kitchen. Let's head into the main bathroom. So we've got vanity, toilet, and shower. And you'll notice on this window, we've got the full frost. So if you're standing here having a shower, nobody's gonna see your business. Your business remains your business, which is important. Over this way, you got the window above the toilet, and then here we've got a little bit of storage behind the mirror, and I'm guessing this does light up, but no power as of yet because this thing just got dropped off here today or yesterday, I think. Heading back out, this is the second bedroom, the smaller of the two bedrooms. Again, you got the frost halfway up, you got a window on the end, and it comes with this armoire type thing from the factory. So if I open this up, you've got the mirror on the outside, and it's a place you can hang clothes, you can put stuff down there, just a little bit of extra storage, which is always nice in a small space. We'll go back out this way through the living room and then down into the main bedroom. So in the main bedroom, you've got a window on the end, you've got the windows on the side, but you've also got an ensuite. So yes, this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. A little bit different than the other side. So if I march in here, you'll notice that this is a bigger window than the other side, and you don't have the full window with the frosted glass in the shower like we saw on the other end. I don't know which one I would prefer. I think the full frost for the extra natural light might be nice, but it's going to be personal preference. Everything else remains pretty much the same. They've got the storage unit in here as well. And you know, one thing that kind of caught me off guard inside this home was how it feels. When I saw it from the outside, I thought it was going to be full windows, floor to ceiling down the entire side, but you can see it's broken up by the kitchen, the fridge, the bathrooms. So when you're inside, it doesn't at all feel like it looks on the outside, if that makes sense. There you have it, folks, an inside look at NanoNest and what they're doing in the world of disaster relief. 1, 2, and 3-bedroom homes arriving at the site now 60 days after an order is placed. It's pretty cool. That's it for me here in Lahaina. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.